So with the recent release of this update, I'm pretty sure you all know that we got a new map. Now, as this is really cool, I've heard some people compare this to Blue Lock Rivals, which I see it. I mean, I was fond of the old map, it grew on me, but now we've got a new one. And this one isn't bad, but the only thing I'm like meh about is the fact that we've changed the box size again. And also, is this map slightly bigger or slightly smaller? Because I can't tell. But obviously, with the changes to the boxes, oh wow, it started raining. That's how we know how sad this is. With the changes to the boxes, my lineups are now gone. My Kaiser lineups that were so powerful are now gone. But don't be alarmed, because I found some new ones, and they might be even better. Also, at the time of recording, I'm currently at, well, on the dot 38,000. So I'm really close to 40,000. So if y'all could please subscribe, it would mean the absolute world to me. You don't even know. But obviously, you want to see the lineup, so let's get straight into it. So first lineup is actually one that I'm very fond of, and one that is actually insanely hard to defend. And I'll demonstrate it here. You may know that there's a lineup where, well, on the old map, you'd stand around here and look somewhere here, and you would basically get into the top left corner of the goal with, obviously, Kaiser Impact Magnus. But now the boxes are changed, there's no real, like, place to stand now, you can't really see it. But I did come up with a new one. What you want to do is, you will see this line right here that intersects these two boxes here. Here's the darker green one, here's a lighter green one, and it's close to the box on this side. And I do need to iterate here, right? As this is very important. Here is the field, yeah? These lineups, most of them, only work on the left side. That's because the left and right sides, actually, the boxes don't line up perfectly. And I'll show you an example. So right now, I've gone on Team B, which is the one on the left side. Now, the reason I state this is because if you have a look here, I'm gonna just show you why this is really annoying. This is my biggest gripe about the game. As you can see here, we've got this like close, like short rectangle here that goes all the way up here, and as you can see, there's a tiny square in the top left corner, you know, next to this lamppost. But you can see there's a tiny square there, long rectangle goes over that way, long rectangle here, it's big square there. But if I go over to the complete opposite corner, which, as like, if we think about it, right, this should be mirrored, but sadly enough, as you can see, it's not mirrored. You see, you still got the short rectangle here, but there's not one here, which means there's no box in the top left corner. And that just means that these like two sides are slightly off with lineups. So some may only work on one side, while the other you'd have to tweak it a bit by looking slightly down or standing in a slightly different position. It's really annoying, but I mean, you can see here, like, come on, please, can we just make both sides like symmetrical of each other? Like, this should have been the easiest part. Like, this is so annoying. But like I'll demonstrate here, if you're on B team or the one team on the left side, which I always end up choosing for some reason, what you want to do is, you see this goalkeeper line here, well, run back until you stood on this line that like crosses the intersection here, and basically you just want to line yourself up with that line while standing here. Now what you want to do is, you see these yellow boxes, there's one right in front of you above the white line, and you just want to aim in the bottom right corner of it. And pretty much what this will do is, this will send the Kaiser Impact Magnus into the top left corner, just like this. And this one's really powerful because you're super close, and obviously, I mean, yeah, you're super close. Magnus is really fast, and it's in like the tippity top corner. Like, there's a goalkeeper net here. He's not going to be able to react fast enough, alright? So this one I really like doing because it's really hard to react to. It works really well against like real goalkeepers and like AI goalkeepers. But obviously in real goalkeepers, if you keep doing it, they'll eventually figure it out. But next one is similar to my really old one, where obviously you kind of look somewhere here, it goes meow, and then into like the corner. So what you want to do is, obviously, on B team, you want to stand in this like corner here. It's basically 3 sort of crosses away from the end. So as you can see, there's one intersection there between 4, one intersection there, and it's the one right here. So what you want to do is, you want to stand here, and you want to look at this red sort of, you got these red boxes and lines, and you can see there's like 3 rectangle ones here. You want to look at the like middle, the blue part in between these two here, and then look at the bottom, and then, as I'll demonstrate, use Kaiser Impact Magnus, and that goes really high and touches like the back of the net. I mean, I'll show you really quick why this doesn't really work on the other side, because what that would be is the third intersection would be down here, and then as you can see, you're really far away, and also the rectangles are like different and weird, and as you can see, it doesn't make it. Yeah, it's just because you don't have, they're not the same on each side, so you don't know where to stand because they're different, which is why I always just recommend picking the same team, because you always get the same lineups consistently. But yeah, as you know, you stand on the third intersection, which is here, so 1 2 3, and then look in the middle there at the bottom, like that little bit there, and then it goes damn, and it's an easy goal. Also, something really nice is you can also stand in the same position here, but get right up close to the wall here. And then this one's a lot harder to explain, but basically you want to be hugging the wall, right? Then you want to look in between these two cameras, like somewhere in the middle, and you want to be looking down as well, because this one gets no height. And if I'm right, it should, yeah, it's like a straight bullet into net. So you've got one that goes really high over the goalkeeper, and this one's just a straight bullet to the goalkeeper. Honestly, it's just depending how you want to do it, because in a real like scrim, right, I'd recommend just doing pretty much everything, because the goalkeeper is going to be aware if you do one that goes up high. Then when you do a new one, they're not going to be aware of that. But I actually kind of like this one. You don't have to be too accurate. It just needs to be somewhere in the middle between the two cameras. And bro, so much aura, oh my god. So basically you get two variations of the same thing, which are both really hard to defend against. But don't worry, there's a few more. I also want to give you guys some inspiration, because I found something like really cool that I haven't been able to like fully grasp yet, but I'll show that a bit later on. Alright, so this one's really weird, is you want to stand on this little tiny box here on the intersection, but you want to stand just a bit back of like the actual thing. So kind of make it so that the ball is over the intersection instead of you. And you want to aim up at this light here. And what you want to do is, you've got all these little dots here, but you want to aim at the one in the middle at the bottom. And now what this will do is this will make the ball like this is really hard, because the ball tries to stay on the wall basically. This one I struggle with lining up though, because this one's really precise. So maybe I'll have to like stand here instead. Let me try it. Yeah, this one, does it work if I'm more to the left? Trust me, this does work. But as you can see, the ball tries to like stay on the wall, and then it like slides in at the back. This one is very inconsistent. Like, this is something I'd want you guys to try and figure out, because this would be a crazy lineup. Yeah, this just isn't reproducible, but it's an idea, and maybe if you guys could try and figure something out. If you do figure out something that's reproducible, then send it to me, because this one's actually really awesome. And I'll also show you another example of the ball trying to like curve itself when you hit a wall. If you stand on this second one here, so you know we've got the first one, then we've got the second intersection and the third intersection. If you come to the second intersection here, this one's actually very similar to this over here. Remember when I said to stand here and aim in the middle of the cameras, and it's like boom, straight into the net? Well, this one is actually also really odd. If you stand on this intersection here and aim pretty much at like this blue bit here, pretty much in the same between the two cameras, but at this like blue bit here, it doesn't have to be too accurate, because watch what happens, right? The ball like goes straight and then starts to curve near the end, and I think that would throw off a few goalkeepers in my opinion. But these are all lineups, dude. The best part about lineups is it's just you can find whatever works for you. So we've got the one that stands here and look there, and that goes at the very back. You've got the same thing but like a straight and then look here. You've got a similar one which is here and look here, and that one like curves on the floor. And then you've got this really unreproducible one that's like stood here and look there. But that one's like my favorite, even though it like doesn't work. So I know this is just a yap video, but like I gotta do an updated Magnus lineup video, because obviously they've changed the map, so we gotta try to find these new ones. But I want you guys to DM me if you find any crazy lineups, because if they're that good, I might have to include it in a video. Other than that, I'll see you in the next video, and goodbye. Also subscribe.